Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today we're going to be talking to you about your Summer 6 event that's going to be coming up this year on NA. You guys can actually expect it fairly soon, as again, you're currently in the midst of your Hunting Quest Part 11 here. We also have the Prisma Ilia movie campaign that is your back-to-school campaign repurposed, and they've functionally combined the two of these together. So, needless to say, you're going to expect to see this kind of go through the week. Once you're done, then we're really pretty much primed here for summer. Now, summer on JP actually ended up happening in September, but realistically speaking, you're not that far off of that. You're about, a week or two ahead of where JP's at. So I don't think it's that crazy, especially as we start to head into the fall. We can talk a lot about, again, sort of scheduling and what they might be able to shift around and stuff, but the reality here is looking down the line at stuff like, say, Tunguska at the end of the year. This is sort of closely tied into New Year's, so don't expect Tunguska to get shuffled and moved earlier or something like that. It would be kind of weird for the banners if they were to do that, so I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting Tunguska to sit right where it is. I'm expecting, again, Christmas to sit where it is. But what I do think you're going to see is you're probably going to end up seeing some shuffle a little bit ahead of Christmas. And I don't know where exactly that will occur, but potentially just because sometime during your Guda Guda event this fall, you're going to try to see them sneak in Thanksgiving. Normally, Thanksgiving gets its own week, it gets its own campaign. They allow you guys to do whatever the hell you want during that, so they don't try to overlap that usually with other stuff. It typically has a banner rotation, so that's kind of one of the real reasons I think that they don't want it to overlap, is so that it doesn't interfere with any of the event banners. But needless to say, that'll probably happen, and that'll probably cause a little bit of a forward shift from everything Guda Guda on forward. So you're going to see some stuff come a little bit earlier on NA, and that's why I think you're seeing yourself kind of be basically that 2 weeks ahead. I don't think that's too crazy. I think you're just going to see that happen. So again, expect a Summer 6 announcement shortly. In fact, as of me recording this, we're just before the Crony and Ina live stream, so that might actually be what gets talked about. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, what I think you're going to see here is the pre-campaign get announced first. That is going to fundamentally last here for about a week, and it just basically is going to be a nice login bonus. You do get essentially double the chance of great and super success whenever you're enhancing any of these listed servants, as well as half AP for their interludes and strengthenings. And these are all just going to be kind of your prior summer-related servants, so it's really nice if you guys have managed to roll any summer-related servants to be able to, finish them off or catch up on them. Again, you do end up having a summoning campaign here as well. I remember talking about this 2 years ago and basically being like, what the heck, why is Drake not going to be in this summer, especially given the theming? You'll just have to wait and see for the actual event to determine why that is. But I do feel like still to this day, we are basically robbed of a Drake summer at this point. But regardless, looking at this, you're going to have a banner here between Drake and Nemo. Again, both of these are permanent units, so it's up to you to determine whether or not you actually wish to roll. However, your 4 stars here are both limited units, so that can definitely make them a little bit harder to get your hands on, and it's something that I actually do recommend trying in that regard. Actually, I say limited. I don't believe... hold on here real quick. The Calamity Jane is limited. No, she is. Okay. I had to double check. I could have sworn I got spooked by her at some point, but I don't think I did. I probably just rolled the right banner. So, again, do anticipate that it's going to not have this sort of rotation, because remember, basically through the end of the year that JP did not have the pity system. NA is still ahead of that system. We got that system quite literally 13 months early. So whenever you see these banners coming up in these events, understand that you're going to start to see these old 4-star solo rate ups again with a single 5-star, or again sort of the ability to mix and match with 1 4-star and stuff. And that's exactly what people want out of the system, but the pity system has fundamentally changed that, and you're not going to see it now pretty much going forward. So that's why these banners don't end up happening exactly as they did on JP. So just expect it to instead kind of be probably either, again, sort of 2 banners, which it could be like Nemo with both of the 4 stars, or and again, Drake with both of the 4 stars, or you might just see them actually divvy it up where it's like Nemo with the Yuri Pirates and Drake with Calamity Jane or something like that. It just depends. My mods are basically telling me that Taiwan and Korea did different things each on this, so I'm not going to be surprised to see anything happen that could be out of the ordinary or just not what we expect. So just keep that in mind and keep your mind open as we start to approach the actual pre-campaign. Now, they did have a live stream back then, and they did talk about the soundtrack and everything for it, but they also had a retweet campaign that gave out 12 quartz. So who really knows what we're going to get in regards to this? I have no idea when we're actually going to have a live stream, if it's not the Ina and Crony, like sort of talk that's going to happen here in an hour, or whether or not it's going to be like some sort of official stream down the line. Maybe this will just end up being the prepper for the actual official stream. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, you guys could expect that we probably will get some sort of retweet campaign at some point, just to promote Summer, as Summer is one of their biggest banners all year. It usually is one of their most lucrative ones outside of Anniversary proper. So, again, that is your pre-campaign. It's going to last roughly a week, but also don't be surprised if it somehow gets shortchanged and squished into only like a couple of days. It really just depends on what NA is trying to do in terms of its timing. Then we get to the actual proper event, and you should care about this summer event for numerous reasons, and we're going to kind of go through it all with you. But the by far biggest reason that you probably should is this is going to be one of the most lucrative events you've ever farmed. And popping apples during it is going to be worth your while. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and start at the beginning here. So again, this is going to be your Chaldea event. This is going to be your Summer 6, basically your summer for the year. Again, don't worry too much about the dates here. Just understand that, yes, it is a 3-week event, and that it does only require Fuyuki clear. Again, in summary here, you guys can see there is some time gating going on, so you're not going to be able to like be able to just immediately blitz to the best end node and stuff like that. But I believe there's only actually truly a handful of time locks in this, so it doesn't take you very long to actually get it. You get some male costumes as well, and you'll see that in the banner that they get. There is a very nice trailer for the event, but I'm not going to go through it for DMCA purposes. And again, you do have the event mechanics here. Your welfare will be Leonardo da Vinci Ruler. And the reason, again, that it's going to be important to do this event on its initial run here is because it doesn't get a rerun. You don't want to miss Da Vinci Ruler because Da Vinci Ruler has never come back on JP. There was no rerun to reacquire her, and she has not shown up in the Evocation Festival yet. At least I think. Unless I'm misremembering. But still, I assume at some point she will, and regardless, it's going to be one of those deals where you're just going to want this unit ahead of that, 2-year gap before you actually get it. Now, again, with regards to the actual event, you're going to have currencies that can be exchanged in the item shop, and then you will be able to farm these chests, these pirate chests. Think of them as miniature lotto boxes, and that you're going to be able to get some very nice materials out of them. And again, you can open them for the treasure points, as there will be an entire point ladder that we'll talk about here in a second. The main quests are unlocked daily, and when a certain amount of treasure points are reached, clear all main quests to unlock your welfare permanently. And again, you will have some CEs that can boost your treasure drop rate. And again, basically each type of treasure chest will correspond to the type of materials that it drops. Event currencies can be exchanged as well for maps of secrets, which unlock quests that drop a large amount of treasure chests. So you are going to want to make sure that you do each one of those and basically take the max bonus each time. During the event, Da Vinci Ruler gains double experience whenever you level her up. So this is, again, sort of the 2 times experience efficiency for leveling your welfare during the event. And again, her MP deals an extra 50% damage bonus on top of the event bonus. So a really just nice extra thing there. They do have a little bit of an event guide here as to like where to get, again, sort of her extra copies from the map quests. And then sort of, hey, here's how to blitz your maps and the cost that they have. As well as here's sort of what each node kind of gives you. You're going to see a lot of talk about Caribbean Street. I will talk about this node, but there may also be some decent indication to do Pirates Ocean as well, because you can certainly see that there are some quite nice materials in that node. With regards to our event bonus, you can definitely be assured that it's going to be all of your new summer units, where again, your 2 new SSRs will be 100%, as well as your welfare there. And you will end up having 50% damage bonus for everybody else that's involved in the event, including 4 stars. And then all of your past summer units will also receive, again, 30% damage bonus. And everybody does get bond bonus on top of this, including MASH here. But it's going to be one of those deals where realistically, you don't have to take a summer unit to the node. It's just going to make your life easier, and you will get more bond for doing so. With regards to our actual event craft essences, we have Sink Deeper. This one's got some very nice art for Van Gogh fans. It is all HP scaling, unfortunately, but it is NP 4 to 5% per turn, NP damage 15 to 20% at MLB, and then resistance to critical hits 5 to 10% at MLB, which is at least fairly rare to find on a craft essence. However, what you're going to see a lot of this is that it increases your treasure chest drop chance. And you might be thinking, ooh, it gives 20% from a single copy, but 50% at MLB. But I could probably end up taking, 6 copies and get to 120%, right? And that would be better than 2 MLBs. And that would be wrong, because there is a maximum bonus in this of 100% spawn chance. Think of this like a spawn CE in sort of your old CCC event and stuff. You cannot take more than 100%. So all you need is an MLB of Sink Deeper of your own and taking an MLB on support, and you're good. You can fill out the rest of your craft essence slots with whatever you so choose. Event CEs, K-scopes, bonding, it's totally up to you to determine how you wish to handle it. With regards to your other craft essence here in the event, this is Ocean Flyer, and this is going to be one of the other reasons not to miss this event. Again, it doesn't rerun, and Ocean Flyer is probably the best art CE we've seen in the game for a long time. It is welfare, it is all attack scaling. I have talked about it numerous times in my unit reviews about these arts units that we have coming. And again, it is 50% MLB at max, NP damage up of 15%, and then 8% arts. So it's not only just going to be like Holy Night Supper, but also 8% arts on top of that in place of just having like crit damage or something like that. So it is very good as far as craft essences go, and it will also be your damage CE during the event. So again, up to you to determine whether or not you wish to use a damage CE in the event, but regardless, select it because it's so good outside of the event. And yes, this is a candidate to take to level 100, and I highly recommend that you do. And with regards to our command codes here, you can see your 5-star command code is Chiogami Commander. It's going to, when using the encode card, increase all allies critical damage by 15% one time. So this is all allies, it's party-wide. That can have some interesting applications, especially in a little bit more of a team sort of longevity / challenge setup where you know you're going to be carding. Can also be useful if you think that you're in like some sort of lotto scenario where you have to like card down the first wave, as this could be utilized to set up someone else's cards later, but still going to require you to get the right card in the first place for that to work. Your 4-star one here is going to be Mini Border. When using the encoded card, gains 2 critical stars and removes the target's defense up buff. This one can actually be super useful on targets that spam their defense. Many of you guys just got done with the Lotto CQs going up against, say, Ozzy with his Imperial Privilege, and he kind of spammed it on you a couple times. Yeah, this is definitely really good for countering people like him. But again, there are also other ways of usually dealing with it, and this won't work against an actual unremovable defense buff, so just keep that in mind. And then your 3-star here is going to be Beguiling Amulet. When using the encoded card, inflict curse status to an enemy, 300 damage 3 turns, and gains 1 crit star. This is going to be super useful on any unit that sort of has the ability to scale curse damage, or again, have their damage scale off the presence of a curse debuff on the enemy. So really, a really nice one to have. Sort of like Robin Hood with his poison damage, you can utilize this depending on a unit's kit, and it could be really, really good for those units. Now, that's your bonus, that's your CEs, that's your command codes in the event. Let's talk a little bit about our banners, and I'll go through each one of these with a more proper servant analysis video later, but certainly just talking holistically about this first banner. This first banner is actually really good for gameplay. Not only do you have a Black Grail looping quick AoE saber, so again, a very good quick unit, both for farming and again, even for challenge type scenarios against servant gauntlets and the like. But you also end up having a single target arts caster that has 60% charge that can be split 30%. So you can use 30% on her and 30% on someone else, or use 60% on her. And that's really nice for Charlotte there as our 4-star. Again, she's single target, she's art, so it's certainly a rare, decently hard hitting, again, very adaptable sort of caster to have. And then your 4-star here is actually going to be almost like a kind of quality of life sort of replacement for Kuro Archer, since she's been gone a long time and is an old welfare that will not come back until the evocation system decides to give her to you. But for right now, you do end up having, again, Anastasia Archer, and she's going to be single target arts with 50% charge. So there's a lot that you can say about her that's good as well. And we'll go through each one of these more in depth into their kit. But yes, this first banner is very good for gameplay reasons alone. Again, don't expect any sort of rotations on the 4-star. Just expect that you're going to have this for the entirety of the banner, where it's both of them simultaneously on rate up rather than any sort of single one. And let's talk about the CEs here. You have Angel Heart, which is split stats, so not the greatest there. Quick up of 10%, but at least 2 times invincibility. Honestly, probably not your best CE to go after. Pinky Beach here is going to be your 4-star CE. It is going to grant self-sure hit, quick of 5%, and NP gain of 5%, and it is all attack scaling, so not too terribly bad there. Pirates of the Jungle here, which, as a lot of people have pointed out, appears to be a VTuber reference. Again, is going to be split stats and quick and buster and crit stars here. So definitely a, interesting choice for CEs on that banner. You're then going to have the male banner here, and that's going to be Achilles as well as Man Ricardo. And you may be wondering why there's no third unit. And that's because the third male to get a costume in this event is actually Edward Teach, who, as a 2-star, cannot appear on a paid gacha. So that's why you're only seeing 2 units here. But don't worry, they make up for that. So again, the male banner here will actually have Treasure of the Caribbean. I have talked about this one before. All attack scaling. It is going to be arts of 8%, NP damage of 10%, and overcharge for your NP 2 stages 1 time. So definitely a really, really nice one if you're looking for an arts-based CE that has overcharge. Golden Path here is split stats, but it is a star bomb with buster and NP gain. And your 3-star is going to be, again, at the street corner of the decorating C, which is all HP, but it's 1-time evasion with arts up. So certainly you guys might be able to find uses for that. Your banner number 2 here is going to be, again, Summer, and that's going to be a unit that a lot of people have been looking forward to. Like I said, I'll talk about these units with a proper servant analysis. You're going to see a lot of people comparing Summer to Space Ishtar. I'll talk about that as well, but just understand that the TLDR of that is just use whichever one of the two that you prefer more. It does not matter. You don't need to get in a pissing contest over who's better. Their performance is pretty samey across the board when we're talking arts. So don't worry about it too much. If you prefer Space Ishtar, you're fine still with Space Ishtar. And if you prefer Kama, you're fine with Kama. And if you like both, why not both? Now, with regards to your other units here, though, you definitely end up having Summer Canis. And Summer Canis is a very interesting unit. I actually really like her card performance, but I gotta admit that she definitely, as far as her design goes, is nice. But you're gonna see that pretty much right after this event, you end up sort of going very quickly into Halloween, and Halloween ends up having Cinderella, who is a welfare single target buster rider, just like Canis is, only not welfare. And the issue at play there is that Summer Ellie has charge. So there's certainly a lot to be said that there. Canis is not a bad unit by any means, but there is some concerns with her overall. And then you have Say Berserker. Say Berserker is going to be your single target quick Berserker. Think of her a little bit like Mjolnir, but again, a little bit more oriented on buster crits and stuff like that. So definitely a very interesting unit. I'm not going to say she's bad by any means, but I do think that she could probably use some love at this point in time, but there are some interesting things that you can do with her. So again, that's going to be that banner, and you can expect that this banner, as the third proper banner, will just have all of the female and all of the male CEs included on it. Now, then we have yet again another banner here, and they call it banner 3, but this is actually banner 4 because they called the male banner just male. So your fourth banner here is going to actually be Columbus and Doman. Now, Doman is certainly a very good unit for critting and carding and farming. Obviously is another unit that works well with Curse, so you can do a lot with that. Again, that Curse command code is basically Doman's. So there's a lot to be said about getting your hands on Doman and how good of a unit he can be. But I can certainly at least also point out the fact that Christopher Columbus is a very rare unit. He is a story-locked rider that you have to complete Agartha to unlock. Most people do not have him. So if you wish to acquire him, this is not a bad chance. And you will get coins for acquiring him here. So there is that to consider, as he is a 3-star that does not normally get coins because he's story locked. So up to you if you really wish to roll. And this banner will also have both sets of CEs, both male and female here. So definitely a lot to be gleaned from that. Again, they did have some game updates. Each got his animation update. I'm pretty sure we have all of these ahead of time. You do also have some updates basically to the supports, but we already have all of these. And again, I'm pretty sure that we have everything on those game updates already. So, let me get to the proper event shop. There's the pirate treasure again, but let's not start with that. Right here, you've got your pirate saber. This is going to be your gold mat. You have the fearless diver outfit that you can unlock. I believe that is Achilles, if I remember correct. And then again, 2 copies of your treasure chest CE here. You've got command code removers, but don't waste your stuff on it. They're really, honestly, at this point, relatively worthless. And again, you do end up having your gold mats here. So you have 10 hearts, 20 reactor cores, and 20 lamps. You also end up having 20 Magatamas. Just keep in mind, you will be getting Magatamas from the lotto at the end of the year, but you're also only going to have probably like 9 to 10 days to farm that lotto, so don't skimp on these just because of that. You will also have a lore here. You're going to actually get a lot of lores in this event, so there's a lot of good stuff to get. Certainly, you know, most of the time, I think the conventional wisdom has been to skip statues if you don't actually need them, but since we know class score is coming and that you're going to need a lot of statues for that, if you roll this event, I highly recommend collecting all of the statues. You will have time, and probably if you're going to go sit on that 90+ node, you'll probably farm out the shop anyways. So yeah, just collect them all. You will definitely thank yourself for it. And then you can see there's also several of the treasure maps. So again, you're going to want to do those. And then yes, congratulations, you've made it to your first welfare post anniversary. And now you can see that Da Vinci Ruler gets coins. So from here on out, every welfare will have their coins in the event. However, you are not going to get all the coins for the welfare. So let me explain. You're going to get enough coins for the welfare minus the total amount you would get from bond. So essentially, the total amount you would get from bonding to bond 15 plus the amount of coins you get in the event would be the full 660 coins that you would need to do everything. So, you will get a lot of coins here, but if you actually wish to unlock all 3 appends and grail the unit to 120, you must do everything, including bonding that unit. So, they definitely factor that in, and that is the unfortunate part. But, it is what it is. Now, with regards to our pirate tankard here, this is our silver mat. You're going to get, again, another male costume there. You do have another copy of your treasure chest, CE. Again, another command code remover. That's pretty crap. You do have bicorn horns for 20 of them here. Ice for 20 of them. A lot of your appends are going to use this. You do have homunculus babies for 20, and then gears for 20. And then all of your silver statues, and yes, I highly recommend you get these. Most of the time I recommend you get these over golds, because usually when you're doing high-end content, you get golds naturally, but you don't get a lot of silvers once you're at high-end content, so it can actually be a little bit of a bottleneck for you. But yeah, again, with class score, just get all of the statues if you can. Certainly will help you out in the long run. And then even more of the treasure chests, even more of the coins. You can see right there, that is basically 400 coins now at this point that you've managed to get. Or sorry, that's total cost. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, that one always throws me for a loop how they calculate that. The bronze mat here now is going to be your pirate bandana. You're going to get your last costume here from this for the males, and then again, one more copy of your treasure chest CE, and you may notice that's only 4 copies right now, but again, you do get up to 5 for each of your CEs, so don't worry too much about it. You are going to get 20 shells here, which is going to be super nice for those of you guys that need shells for your summer units, but you will be able to get shells elsewhere in the event. You are also going to get seeds for those of you guys that are low, and then I'm sure a lot of you guys are really going to be happy to see 30 of the LV6 bells put into the shop here. So doubly so for those of you guys that are not done with LV6 yet, this is going to be a nice welcome windfall for you should you desire to finish off one of those LV6 units from their banners. And then again, 30 chains here as well, and then your 3-star foes, your 5-star embers, and your 4-star embers, and your 3-star embers. Again, if you don't want to use the 3-star embers, just buy them and burn them for mana prisms. That's a-okay with your 3-star embers. And then you do get even more of your treasure chests, as well as yet another set of coins. So definitely nice there. And then we get to the pirate treasure, and we will have a lot to talk about this, so just hold on to this for right now. I know I keep putting it off. And again, not to spoil you guys here really, but I believe if I just quickly scroll through this, we will end up seeing there is a grail at the end of the event. And then your free quests are obviously going to be decently lucrative. You can get ocean flyer drops, but I'm not going to focus too much on the early ones, just the 90 and the 90 plus. So here's your 90 at Pirates Ocean. It's a 333 Berserker node with a 200k HP Berserker at the end of it. Not too bad. You can get ocean flyer drops, but you also can get shells and meteor shards. And then again, both your gold and bronze chests, but not the silver chests. You're also not going to get all of your shop materials here. You're only going to get bronze and gold, so just keep that in the back of your head should you so choose to farm this node. And then Caribbean Street's going to be your 90 plus. It is a 313 Lancer node, so certainly sabers here are going to be really useful. You'll also see a lot of people just trying to loop this with Summer Kama, as she'll be a damage bonus unit. And remember, like we said, if you're just taking MLB of one of the treasure chest Cs and then MLB of a friend, that leaves you 4 other craft essence slots to use for whatever you want. So that could be a Black Grail, that could be a damage bonus C like Ocean Flyer, that could be a K-Scope, or again, a Bond C. It's totally up to you as to how you want to determine that. And again, this node will actually drop LB3 reactor cores and arrowheads. So really, really nice in that regard, as well as the ability to drop all 3 chest types, which can be really, really useful. Now, moving on from there, we have the secret map quests, and remember, these can give you some really nice chest rewards, so always make sure that you're going to take your chest CE into these before you do them. I would probably advise waiting until that point, but I don't remember if the chest amount is locked on this. It may be, it may not scale, so it really just depends. But each one of these, as you guys can see, can also give other rewards, including QP. So it certainly could be useful to you guys for being able to actually farm in terms of being able to get your units online. And there you go. There's a nice whopping QP one right there. So definitely make sure you check what's in the node before you run into it. Come to a site like Fandom or something like this in order to figure it out. And yes, you could even see you do get some coins for your welfare here, sort of hiding in the maps. So definitely a reason to make sure you do each of these, including your command code there, and kind of just scrolling right through just to make sure. Even a lore in one of these. Another command code, another lore. A full-fledged copy of Da Vinci. And another one, and then yes, even a grail from your final map. So definitely make sure you do all the treasure maps. You've got a couple of mini scenarios. I'm not sure that these really matter too much. They're just going to be some 5 AP sort of interesting fights. They don't really seem to give much of anything, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. Just do them as you acquire them. And then obviously your challenge quest, which I'm not going to end up spoiling too much for you here, but I will just point out that yes, again, you're going to get another lore from that. And then you have the point rewards, and we already kind of talked about this. Your point ladder in the actual event is only going to go up to 90k, but remember, I've seen people basically say like, oh man, you know, I hate, you know, the triple ladders from Summer 3. I hate having 3 million points on a ladder. Keep in mind, 3 million points on a ladder is the same as 90,000 points on a ladder because it's all adjusted to scale. Straight up. So like, they don't care. Like, it's just an optical illusion. They will adjust your points in a 3 million event to be even more to allow you to get there in time. Same thing with a 90,000 ladder. It's going to take you the same amount of time roughly to clear these ladders. But these ladders, again, you're going to get points from opening treasure chests, so you do want to open them as you acquire them. You're going to pretty much be wanting to take your treasure chest CE to every node that you possibly can, just to quickly progress you through these points. And again, remember, these are what's going to gate your sort of quests availability. So I highly recommend that you guys do that. And just to quickly run through it and show you guys some of what's here, obviously you end up having Da Vinci coins and Da Vinci Ascension mats. You end up having another copy of Ocean Flyer stuck in here. And actually, no, I believe that's your first copy from right here. Just taking a look through more of it. There's your second copy, some command code keys, your third copy of Ocean Flyer, heck, even some eggs. Your fifth copy of Sink Deeper, so there's your MLB right there. Your fourth copy of Ocean Flyer, a lore right here, another lore right here, and your fifth copy of Ocean Flyer. So you guys are doing pretty good. And then yes, yet another lore. So again, a lot of lucrative rewards from doing this event. Highly recommend you guys don't skimp on it because it's super, super good. And that's it for the actual event overview. But I have one more important thing to show you before you guys cut out. One of my viewers made a very nice AP efficiency sheet. I will link it in the description to the video, but you can also find it on our Discord. Again, Earnbrand, I gotta thank you for the permission to use this for the video, because this does a fantastic job showcasing actually how efficient these nodes truly are. And you can see that every single material in the chests is listed here at the top. You also have the drop rate of each from each chest. Each chest has a 5-way split, and each material just has a 20% chance of showing up. It is RNG, so do understand that you could get more of one material than another, but if you do enough of the chests, it's gonna even out eventually anyways. So at the end of the day, you're just gonna try to go for bulk rather than trying to somehow target one specific material. Now, that being said, you do have different drop data on each node, again, provided by Damas Aurea, the site that ends up tabulating all of this anyways for all the other sites. So what's particularly interesting right here is actually if we sort of come in and look at the 90 and 90 plus node, what's really curious is they both cost 40 AP. However, you're going to notice that the treasure chest based AP value, so the AP value assigned to each chest, which is sort of detailed over here on the right, this is due to the value of the materials that are in each chest, how AP efficient it is to grind them on their own. And if you actually look at this, you can see that your 90 actually has a higher AP value than your 90 plus. And that may confuse some of you, but the reason why is because it's better for your gold chests specifically, because it does not drop silver chests at all. So it ends up having more gold chests that drop there, And that's going to make it so that if you really want to target specifically like the shells and meteor shards that drop in the node, or again, the materials from a bronze or a gold chest, that the 90 will potentially be better for you. But if you're just going for a one-size-fits-all solution, or if you're just going for, again, the arrowheads that can drop, as well as the reactor cores in the 90 plus, then certainly the 90 plus is going to be better. I, honest to God, am probably going to recommend farming the 90 plus at least until you clear the shop. And then from there, if you wish to switch off to the 90 or something because you want to target what's in the bronze and the sort of, well, actually, even in that case, it actually has a lower rate of bronze. So if it's more specifically, if you want to target the specific materials that drop in the 90 node or the gold chests, that would be where you would step down to the 90. And I do think there's a lot of value in those gold chests because those are the gold mats that are usually hard to farm on Nat AP because they just have abysmally low rates. So again, it's up to you, but like I said, I think conventional wisdom is going to be do 90 plus, but yes, if you wish to target gold mats specifically, 90 technically better after that. So I do think there's a lot to be said about that. And you can see we do also have sort of the drop bonus from the CEs detailed. You're going to want to take, again, those 2 MLB copies so that you max out the drop percentage at 100%. You don't want to, again, take less because it's just going to cost you drops each time. So even if you have to keep refreshing to find that, if you're in favor of more AP efficiency, highly recommend waiting until you can find that MLB on your friends list. And again, down here, we actually have the Event Quest Ascension Mat drop rates here, so you can see the drop rates of the non-chest mats that are in the node. So right there, there's your Reactor Core of the Dawn and your Arrowhead of Malice, and then your 90 here, here's your Meteor Shards and your shells for that. So totally up to you to determine what to farm. Just keep in mind with regards to what is actually available in this, it's going to end up being each one of these mats, and they are potentially very difficult to farm or very lucrative for you. Particularly, like I said, the shells are in here as well, so you don't have to worry about getting them to drop from the node necessarily, but they actually will drop from the node at a higher rate in the 90. And you do have stuff like fruit or dragon reverse scales, or even, yes, meteor shards in the actual gold mat. So certainly it depends on what materials you're going after, but I've had a lot of people over time here ask me, is this better than a lotto? And the answer to this is honestly kind of, but no. If you're after only Ascension mats, yes, this is arguably better than a lotto. If you're after a lot of the other intangibles that are in a lotto box, then no. QP, skill gems, mana prisms, you know, you name it, right? So there's a lot, friend points. There's a lot of really nice stuff in a lotto box that makes the lotto box very AP efficient overall. But yes, if you guys manage to have a lot of your apples still left, or you maybe save some, highly recommend farming this event. It's going to be absolutely worth it for you. And with regards to this versus something like, say, the Gouda 5 raids, you're actually not going to get that much time to farm the Gouda 5 raids, so you have 3 weeks on this. I actually recommend taking advantage of it. This, to me, is actually the big reason why they didn't rerun the event. The devs realized just how efficient this event was and how good it was as a farming opportunity. So I think they were afraid to bring it back. But anyways, let me know which banner you're going to roll at Summer this year, which unit you're looking forward to the most, and how many boxes you think you're going to farm in this event. I'll be curious to read your comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys for the next one.